We're rolling. All right.
Live. We are live. Cool.
Again.
Third annual Made in Texas radio interview.
I know.
So good to be back.
It's good to have you back too. And by the way, everybody who's joining us this afternoon on Made in Texas, it's Will Carter in the studio, and yes, it's Will's third visit here. So we're old hats, and we just have to kind of pick up where we left off last time. So Will, welcome back. Every time I talk to you, you have so much going on, and this stretch of time since you've been out of the studio with us is no exception. Last time we talked to you, you had just gotten back from Mile Zero, which is in Florida, for those who don't know.
Key West.
A bunch of Texas artists go out there and do a big show. And you had some really interesting things come out of that experience that have nothing to do with music, but have some things to do with music. So, I know you, so why don't you just jump in, Will, and just give us an idea of what the hell happened and where it took you in this last year.
So in the last year, I had started my own company. I got away from the corporate world to free up myself and make me more available and more flexible to chase my dreams and go play music.
Well, first I need to let folks know who don't necessarily know you as well as we do, that you have a degree in construction.
Correct. Construction science from A&M, minor in business.
And a business minor.
Grew up working for my family's electric company during the week and playing music on the weekends. So from the time I was 13 on, when I lost my father, I went to work for my stepdad's company.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I did construction during the week, music on the weekends. Went to A&M on academic scholarship and got the degree. Went to work for the big GCs in Houston while chasing music, and it was tough working 50 hours a week and then doing all that. And but I built it to a certain level where I was established a resume and all that, and was able to break out on my own, and really was solely going to go focus on music. But because of the reputation I had built, I had been approached by several different developers and just contacts I had made through over the years in the industry. I had a reputation for being good at what I did, and so I did some small projects here or there, just to fund albums and things like that.
Right.
And it quadrupled, whatever the word for 5 is. I mean, its size in a matter of a few months. It kind of went crazy. I landed. I met Kathy Douglas with Indie Extreme, and we sat down to talk. I was really looking for a booking agent. I talked to my A&R guy, Jake McKim, who's with Bird Street. He was A&R for Beyonce and Maddie Ince. And I had Jerry McDowell was doing my radio promotion, still is. And so there was the two of them and me, really. And I reached out to Jake and said, I've been booking myself for years, and I work with some booking agencies in town, but I need to get out of Houston. I need to go tackle these different markets around the state. And I've done everything I can do here. I've played everywhere, and I'm booked 5 times a week, but I need to get out of Houston. And so I was approaching him looking for a booking agent. He said, Kathy Douglas was a great contact of his that I just needed to talk to. And I said, okay. So I spoke with her, and really she is on the artist management side, and she has a record labels, like admin, label services division. She has some people that work for her here locally as well as in Nashville that fulfill merch orders and handle album art, and it's just all of the label services admin side of the label. Of course, she does the artist management side of it. She introduced me to Holly Grant with Grant Entertainment and a few others, but we ended up partnering with Holly for booking. She introduced me to Jill McGuckin, who is my publicist now, who is Jerry Jeff Walker's publicist, and she's absolutely phenomenal. So basically, in short, she helped me staff the label completely. My girlfriend Pamela is amazing at. She's a vocal coach by trade, but also artist development across the board, and very, very heavily into social media. In fact, we met at a artist development convention in Nashville that was put on by Rick Barker, which was Taylor Swift's first manager. And it was artist development across the board, but there was very heavily focused on utilizing social media to further your career and all that. So she's very, very good at that. So she handles that for me, and like I said, like all the seats are filled. It's staffed, so it's that whole side of my, I have my record label, Wayback Records, but and I oversee things, but for the most part, it's completely self-sufficient.
You've been wearing a lot of hats up until this point, and now you have a full staff.
Yes,
that can do all
it's
these things
huge
for you. which ironically frees you up to, grow your other business as well, which has exploded.
Absolutely.
And now the two of them are kind of coming together in this cool new project. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. Okay. So
this is really cool. I'm excited about this.
I am too. I wasn't able to sleep the first couple of weeks of January.
I bet.
In December, I was approached by Kelly Mahoney, and Sean McConnell. Sean McConnell runs Irish Kevin's in Key West.
Not the same Sean McConnell that you went here.
Not the same, and that's what I thought at first, because they have they're huge into Texas country and huge into music. Kelly's daughter is a musician. In fact, I've been kind of working with her as well. Merritt Mahoney, very talented, very beautiful, and I've been helping her get gigs, and she's played some shows with me as well. And so Sean runs Irish Kevin's in Key West, where I had been for Mile Zero Fest last year, and I'm going again in 2 weeks because I loved it. And so Sean's going to be the kind of the face and the operating partner of a place. It's 24 Waterway in the Woodlands, right on the corner.
Prime real estate for those who don't know.
It might be the coolest address in the Woodlands, and the Woodlands is a really cool place. So they leased about 5,000 square feet in 24 Waterway, right on the corner across from Baker Street and Crush and all that. And they're putting in a Texas Irish restaurant bar live music venue called Mahoney's. And we've got a big stage. I'm working with Bubba Shear. He's a local musician. He's also a good friend of mine. He played with Stephen Chadwick for a long time, kind of plays with several different groups, but Bubba's a good friend of mine, and he's a QSC rep, so we've teamed up and designed an amazing in-house sound system and lighting show for the venue. We started construction of this venue right after the first of the year, and so we're looking to have it open in April. And I mean, it's the best of both worlds for me. It's getting to do what I love to do on the music side of things, designing a restaurant bar live music venue.
Life in music has really informed you as to what a venue should be like.
Absolutely.
For the artist and also for the music.
That was one of the reasons I actually competed against my old company for this project. A lot of people wanted this project, and so it was a huge win for me. But a big portion, big reason for them choosing to go in my direction was the fact that I do have the background in music, and I know what kind of lights I want shining on me when I'm on stage. I know what kind of sound system I want. I know what artists and bands are looking for in a live music venue, as well as what the people that want to go to a live music venue are looking for and what they expect. And so that expertise or experience, being able to apply that to their project was valuable to them.
Doubt. And it opens when?
The last weekend in April.
And Jackie Ingram is going to do the honors.
Jackie Ingram is a good friend of theirs, and
I think it's going to be packed.
I think it's going to do very, very well. Yeah. I think it's a great spot. I think it's going to very quickly become a very noteworthy live music venue, as well as just a super cool hangout spot. I mean, we're putting a big LED wall behind the stage so that bands can. That was one of the ideas we just discussed recently. Was like bands can have the opportunity to have their music videos playing, or their logos and that kind of thing. But then also, when you're not having bands, when it's Super Bowl, for example, you can have this, essentially a mini jumbotron behind the stage with this amazing sound system that we put in there to have the coolest Super Bowl party in the entire Woodlands, right? So.
And then eventually you'll be playing there.
Absolutely.
And that'll be just really cool, very full circle. We're working on the project as a contractor and then also as an artist.
It's super exciting. I mean, we're working real hard to get it done as
Not
quickly
everybody can say that.
I'm sorry.
Not everybody can say that. Actually,
that's,
I built the place and I'm headlining tomorrow night.
It's really cool to watch. I mean, just like any project. I mean, just growing a band or your project and getting us to see it from the beginning and how it evolves and goes into what it is awesome. And it's the same thing in the construction world. We're looking at this used to be a Japanese restaurant, and now we've completely gutted it, and we're in the design process as well, and design build essentially. We're designing as we go. And so it's just really cool to watch all of the, everyone's ideas and dreams and visions kind of come together, and now they're going to evolve over the next few months. And then I'm just chomping it. I mean, I'm enjoying every minute of it, but we're all definitely super excited to, that day one when it's open and we get to enjoy the product of what we've been putting into it over the last few months. And it's very exciting, and we're all going to be very proud of it. I know we are.
Well, you're not a stranger to seeing things come from the very beginning, the very startup. You have just planned to release your second album. The first album With You was a great one, and played several songs off of it, and it really just put you on the map. And now the second one, Good Bad Idea, when's it going to be released?
April 12th.
April 12th.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the singles are already out, and we're going to get you to play some of them. So in the middle of all of this, staffing a record label, getting management together for the first time, starting out on your own as a contractor with your own company, you found time to work on a new record.
Absolutely.
So it's good to be the boss.
It is. It definitely gives you flexibility, but I can't say enough for the support that I've got with the label being staffed so that they can run things while I'm out on the road or writing or recording or whatever. The same goes for the construction side of the world, having that company completely staffed. I don't have to be there. I'm very involved in this Mahoney's project because I want to be and I enjoy it. But I have the support there that I need so I can break away to go do what I need to do as well. So.
It sounds like you're busier than ever, but it actually also sounds like you are freer than ever to focus on specific things.
It's funny, but it's true. I feel like I definitely do work more now than I ever have, but at the same time, you're right, I have more flexibility than I ever have. And what's great about technology, you can run companies from behind a computer. There's billionaires out there that have 200 companies that they own that are sitting on a yacht that are running them from behind their laptop. You know what I mean? And it's one of the perks that we have with all of this technology. It's amazing.
Okay, so tell me about the title of the upcoming album, Good Bad Idea.
So Good Bad Idea. Well, that's the name of there's a track called Good Bad Idea that actually is going to be our next single. It will come out, I assume, around March, April time, right in time for the album release. So the album is a compilation of songs that all tell a story, somewhat cohesive. The title track, I basically took 4 songs from the album and did a little sneak peek and just put out a little kind of mini EP or whatever.
We're going to get you to play some of those too.
Called House of Cards. And so House of Cards was a song that I wrote about a real bad breakup that I went through. And then Good Bad Idea was kind of the follow-up to that story as it grew. And so the storyline behind that is basically this guy that had been in a long-term relationship and this girl that had been in a long-term relationship with somebody else kind of thing. And neither of them are looking for a rebound or to really even have any interest to be in another relationship. The guy's walking by, stops into this bar for a drink and happens to sit next to this girl. They start talking, they start to hit it off, and they're thinking, I wasn't really looking for this, but I'm enjoying, you're enjoying each other's company and that kind of thing. And so it was basically, let's just kind of roll with it and see how it goes, right?
Funny how it goes.
It's the good bad idea. It could be, it wasn't what they're looking for. It could be a good idea. It might be a bad idea. Maybe it's a good bad idea. Who knows?
Well, what do you want to start off with first? House of Cards, maybe?
I can.
Let's do. And if you're just now joining us, it's Will Carter in the studio. Will's a regular here, and it's our third visit with Will, and we're always glad to have you in the studio. Especially excited about the new record. Just getting those few songs out, has given us a taste of it.
Yeah.
I want to hear the whole thing.
This was a song I wrote about a real bad breakup. I got a nomination for Songwriter of the Year at the Texas Country Music Awards for this one. They took all of the songs that were submitted, there were thousands apparently, and they slimmed it down to 500, and they slimmed it down to 10. And as a finalist, we were one of the top 10. We took home a trophy for third runner-up. And it's called House of Cards.
beautiful. It is Will Carter, and the song is House of Cards from the upcoming album Good Bad Idea. Will to come with Songwriters Award for that, and I can see why. It's pretty beautiful.
Thank you.
You've also been on a pretty prestigious list recently. Houston Chronicle listed 14 albums to get excited about.
Yeah.
And they're not easy to please. And so Good Bad Idea wound up on it. That's great.
I did see that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Well, maybe on the strength of Siesta, Fiesta, Tequila, Repeat, which I think is so much fun. Who cannot relate to that? So, would you like to play it? I'd love to hear it.
Alrighty, I can do that. We've had some success here in Houston. I was talking about, looking for the booking agent and trying to break into other markets. And I don't know if you caught, but the Houston Thanksgiving Day Parade, that was a huge thing for us. We were asked to play on the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's float. And
I didn't know that, Will.
that
Thank
was
you
nationally
for letting me know. That's
televised.
super cool.
And then we had...
Oh, okay.
They did Channel 11 did a big segment, about a 20-minute segment. We went to Lucky Run Studios. They let me pick the place, and I love Lucky Run, so I chose Lucky Run Studio. We went there. They have a beautiful studio, and did an interview kind of thing where they asked questions, and I told my story, played a couple songs kind of thing, and they aired that Thanksgiving Day morning. We had an interview with Channel 13, Channel 11, Channel 2, and Channel 11 aired that interview. This all started at like 5 in the morning, so from 5 in the morning until I think I was on the parade thing at 9.
Right.
And we were all over TV here locally, and then the 9 o'clock was they showed Times Square for the New York one, and then they showed LA. I think is the second largest city in the U.S., so that was second, and then they switched to Houston, which is the third largest city. And for that segment or whatever was us singing "God Bless Texas" on Houston Livestock Radio.
That's cool. That is really cool.
That
So
was,
basically, in your own backyard, because you grew up, Katie, in this area,
yeah.
and now, so here you are, from a homeschool kid to college to trying to step out and make music, and then on national TV on Thanksgiving.
Pretty
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
And getting to hang out with Joel Cowley, the president of the CEO of the Houston Livestock Show and Radio. In fact, they picked us up at the hotel. We had sound check the night before, and we all stayed downtown, and then they picked us up from the hotel at 4:45 in the morning. He and Pamela and I, and so we got to hang out with him one-on-one for we did some interviews together. Then he did an interview, I did an interview, that kind of thing with different TV networks, and then we were done and went to had dinner, breakfast until 7. So I had a solid 2 or 3 hours with Joel, getting to hang out. He's the nicest guy ever. Just really cool. In fact, I just played I got chosen for a showcase for the Texas Association of Fairs and Events in Galveston, and my booking agent had sent out this thing inviting people to our booth. He was one of them, and he RSVP'd, and I saw him on Saturday. He was running out the door, but he made it a point to come and try and find us or whatever, and hey, and hung out for a little bit again, and let me know if there was any shows I wanted to go to, that kind of thing. So he's a very, very nice guy.
Nice. It's really good to be Will right about now.
So this was our previous radio release. This is just one that we wrote about. Story behind this one was you're hanging out with this girl, and she's just a little bit much. Hard to keep up with, kind of thing. And that's basically what it was. You're having too much fun and trying to keep up, but it's all good. It's called Fiesta, Siesta, Tequila, Repeat. Last night, still got my head pounding through the swollen light, but she's singing in the shower, and I realized said I'd take her out to brunch, but I know ain't no the most. Gonna get the job done. My baby wanna party, she don't know Bacardi, but strung out on the kick she needs. And that love is on the rim, and salt is on her hand. You know I'm about to do it again. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. 3 sheets, ain't even time for dinner when she says she's got some honky tonkin' in her. And I realize if I wanna keep up, I need a disco map in the back of my truck. My baby wanna party, she don't know Bacardi, but strung out all the kick she needs. And on her hand. You know we're about to do it again. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. My baby wanna party, she don't know the kind, but strung out all the kick she needs. When that love is on the rim, that song is on her hand, you know I'm about to do it again. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat. Fiesta, siesta, tequila, repeat.
That's just such a great party song.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Shots!
Exactly. It's Will Carter in the studio with us on Made in Texas Radio. Thanks to y'all who have just stopped by today. We do this every Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Just have a good conversation, maybe a couple cocktails, some great music, storytelling, and get to know our
What
great
more
Texas
could you
artists.
ask
What could you
for?
ask for? And it's always a pleasure to have you back in the studio. You know, think about how crazy good things are going for you right now, and your background as a homeschool kid who was raised basically tending crops and, you know, working around
Self-sustaining
the
farm,
self-sustaining farm.
milking goats.
Yeah, milking goats and
every day.
and breaking horses.
Breaking
And
horses.
so how
in the
close to
garden.
you, to that ground are you right now in your lifestyle?
I'm sorry?
How close to you to that life are you now?
Well, I don't milk goats every day anymore. I do still have the property out there.
I was wondering.
You know, I miss it a lot. I feel like I consider myself lucky that I got to grow up that way, which is much different than most of my peers, right?
Sure.
But it's cool just because I like that I am, I guess, well-rounded. You know what I mean? I lived in the country, I've been homeschooled, I went to public school, I went to college, I've lived in the city, I've kind of done a lot of different things, and that's cool, and it's great for, you know, from a writer's perspective to have those other
Lot to draw
perspectives.
from.
You know what I mean? It gives you a lot to pull from. You know, and if you look at my first album, the second album, and you can kind of see the progression of. I've got stories about how I grew up and that kind of thing, and I've got stories or songs about stuff that, you know, we've all experienced, or we've got party songs and the heartbreak songs, and there's a lot of content there to pull from. So it's cool. I've got a song on the new album that I actually put out before. It was the first song I wrote, and it talks about, you know, losing my father, and it's kind of in a country setting. And then I've got the song Way Back. It was on the last album that's it kind of tells a story about how I grew up and that kind of thing. And then of course I've got the songs that you know, as you obtain more life experiences and get older and that kind of thing, and you go through the heartbreak or the party songs, and you have a good time kind of thing, or you fall in love or fall out of love or whatever. You know what I mean? So I just got a lot of different things to pull from, and I think that's kind of an advantage for sure.
I'm glad that you brought up the song about your father. It's a beautiful eulogy, and I'd love to hear it.
Sure. The thing about this song that we were actually in the studio, and my daughter was with us, and she likes to sing and dance too, so we let her sing harmony on the song. So now this ended up being it made the top 200 for the year chart, meaning what was cool about the song was the staying power. A lot of songs that we put out will rise up the chart, run their course, fall off the chart, and you never hear them again. But I'm not comparing this song to Amarillo by Morning by any means, but take Amarillo by Morning, right? It still plays today, right? I was in Corpus Christi, and I had played Brewster Street Ice House, and got off the stage, went back to the car, chill out for a little bit, and I turned on the radio, and boom, the song was playing. You know what I mean? And this was a year
Red
after
Sunrise, right?
it had been, you know, on radio or that kind of thing or whatever. So I video it real quick, send her the video. Hey, look, you're on the radio, that kind of thing. So it's really cool that we get to also share that in this or whatnot. And she uses me for attention whenever I'm at a gig and she's there with her friends. Hey, let me sing that song. That's all I'm good for. Then she runs off and does her own thing.
At least you're good for that.
This is called Way Back. At the end of an older road, where I spent my childhood, is where we'll learn how to skin beer. Where I snuck up and drank my first beer. But Mama taught me how to read and write. Get on my knees and say my prayers at night. She taught me how to tell right from wrong. Taught me how to sing my first song. There's where I came from, where it all begun. I never knew I'd leave so soon, but I did. And I'd go back when I could. Little times were good. And light that stack of firewood by the shed, way back in our woods. Daddy taught me how to be a man, raise a family and live off the land. Stand up for what you think is right. Never back down from the fight. Tell where I came from, where it all begun. I never knew I'd leave so soon, but I did. And I go back when I could. Little times were good. And light that stack of firewood by the shed, way back in our woods. But I'd get home to be there again. Miss that place almost as much as him. Well, where I came from, where it all begun. I never knew I'd leave so soon, but I did. And I go back where I could. Little times were good. And light that stack of firewood by the shed, way back in our woods. Way back in our woods.
That's beautiful. Thanks so much for playing it. Will Carter in the studio, and another one off the upcoming album called Good Bad Idea, which comes out in April. And this is going to be just a great record. We've already gotten a sample of a few songs from it, and love them.
Somebody's let the cat out of the bag.
Absolutely, and onto the radio. It's been a pleasure. It really has been. Before you go, I really want you to play the song That Kiss.
Do That Kiss?
Yeah, I loved that song.
You
That
know,
was the first song that I learned about you with.
I appreciate you saying that. That song I feel has been probably my most successful song to date. The Texas Country Music Association added that to their Best Picks album for that year.
I remember that.
And actually, House of Cards was added to the next year's album.
So
that,
good.
when that
That's
album
great.
comes out, House of Cards will be on it. But That Kiss was track number 9 on their Best Picks Volume 1 album, which was really cool. It actually helped us out a lot because being on my album plus their album, it helped out with Spotify and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Playlisting and things like that. And so it was Spotify does a year in review at the end of the year where they show you month by month your biggest songs and how many streams and all that kind of stuff or whatever. That Kiss kind of won over and over and over, and occasionally another one would come up, but then that one would just slide back in, and it did really well. And when I wrote it up, we were very excited about it. I really liked the song.
I love the song.
It's a lot of
So
fun. So
I'm happy.
my girlfriend tells me that there are the most successful songs historically are fun, lighthearted, happy love songs. And
Okay.
as musicians, we tend to write about things that you want to write about things that people can relate to, that also but will move them. And so there's you hear a lot of ballads because they're slow songs and they could be sad or sweet or whichever. But the fun ones, there seem to be less of them, but they do really, really well, and for a good reason, right? So I find this song to be fun. This one's called Like This.
And I still love that song. It's That Kiss, and it's from Will Carter's first album called With You. The second one is about to hit in April, and good bad idea. Can't wait for the rest of it. really cool to have this rolling out, and so much is going on with you. I just appreciate you taking the time to come by.
Man, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
You're regular, so make it a regular thing. We'll see you in a little bit too.
I'll post it on my. This is the third annual Made in Texas radio interview.
Well, who knows what we're going to talk about next year? For you, with you, it changes like crazy every single year, and I think that's wonderful. I'm so happy
to bring
for
some
you.
excitement to it.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming by, Will.
Thank you for having me.
Will Carter, we just love you. Thanks so much for
Love you
stopping
back.
by. All right. Come back and see us and keep in touch. And y'all get to Will Carter's social media. It's super easy to find because he's so on top of it. And looking forward to the new album coming out in April.
Yeah.
Good bad idea. All right. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Thanks Keegan. And thanks for everyone who makes it a point to stop by our conversations on Saturdays. This is Made in Texas Radio. Y'all have a great night.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
I think this is the first year that y'all didn't make me do a cover.
You know what? I forgot. I forgot. We had so much to talk about, and
see you later,
shoot,
Facebook.
I forgot.
Actually, I'll see you later around 7 p.m. for Tune In Tuesday. But here, say hi real quick. Bye. Hey.
Hi.